Shen Yue was set to marry someone else. Until Dylan Wang crashed the wedding ring broken heart. The world buzzed with anticipation. Tabloids screamed headlines. Social media accounts, from gossip blogs to fan pages, counted down the hours. Shen Yue, the beloved actress who once stole hearts in Meteor Garden, was about to marry into one of the most powerful families in Asia. The groom? Lucas Yuan, billionaire heir, CEO in waiting, polished, handsome, and born into the kind of wealth most only see in magazines. It was a match made in headlines, a union of power, beauty, and legacy. But behind Shen Yue's poised smile, something was breaking. She stood in the bridal suite of a grand estate tucked into the mountainside. The designer gown draped around her shoulders felt heavy, suffocating. Bridesmaids fluttered in and out, fixing her hair, adjusting her veil, chattering about the ceremony schedule. And yet, all she could think about was a boy with messy hair who used to pull her into alleyways to steal kisses after drama rehearsals. Dylan Wang. The name hadn't been spoken aloud in years. Not since the night she chose to walk away. They had fallen in love in silence. During filming, they had whispered promises when no one was watching. Behind the glamour, behind the flashbulbs and curated smiles, they were just two kids in love. Real, raw, electric. But then came the contracts, the expectations, the pressure. His agency warned him, no dating scandals.
Not now.
Not when you're about to launch globally.
Hers told her the same.
You're America-bound next year. Stay clean. Stay desirable. So they broke up. Or rather, she broke them. She left him standing on the rooftop of their favorite cafe, under a rainless sky, with nothing but a trembling goodbye and the echo of what-ifs. And he let her go, because she asked him to. Years passed. They avoided the same projects, dodged questions with trained smiles. Their fans moved on.
But the ache?
That stayed. Now, here she was, dressed in white, ready to marry someone else, and pretending that it didn't still hurt. Meanwhile, across the city, Dylan sat in the back seat of a black car, scrolling mindlessly through his phone. His manager was rambling on about endorsements and brand contracts, but none of it registered. Until he saw her face. A photo. Trending. Shen Yue to wed business tycoon's son this weekend. He stared. Then read the article.
And read it again.
Something hollow bloomed in his chest. She was really doing it. She was really going to marry someone else. And he hadn't even known. His fingers clenched around the phone. He had pictured this moment so many times. What he would say if he saw her again, what she might look like, whether her voice would still shake when she said his name. But this? A wedding? It hit him harder than he expected. That night, he didn't sleep. He paced his apartment floor, hands in his hair, staring out windows that reflected his own doubt back at him. He tried calling her. Once. It rang out. He deleted the number after that. But he couldn't stay still. Every cell in his body screamed that this wasn't over. Because love like that doesn't just end. The morning of the wedding, Shen Yue walked down the hallway of the estate, her heels echoing against marble. Guests were already seated. Musicians tuned their instruments. Her heart pounded, not with excitement, but with dread. Lucas was kind, smart, a gentleman. But he didn't set her on fire the way Dylan had. And as she neared the chapel doors, that fire began to flicker back to life. Because she heard it. A car door. Raised voices.
Gasps.
Then, the chapel doors slammed open. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd. There, framed in the golden light of the afternoon sun, stood Dylan Wang. Uninvited, unapologetic, and completely, heartbreakingly real. He was dressed in black. No tie. Hair windswept. Eyes burning. He stepped inside, ignoring the murmurs. Security hesitated, unsure whether to stop him or not. The groom turned sharply. Shen Yue stood frozen. And Dylan walked straight toward her. I'm sorry, he said, voice loud enough to fill the silence. But I can't let this happen. People began whispering. Lucas looked furious. Shen Yue's mother stood up, ready to interject. But Dylan kept going. I know what I'm doing is selfish. I know this isn't how you wanted this day to go. But if I don't say this now, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. He paused in front of her, inches away. You asked me to choose between the world and you once, he said, his voice trembling. And I chose the world. I chose silence. I chose fame. But not this time. Shen Yue's eyes filled with tears. Say something, he whispered. She blinked. Her lips parted. The room felt like it was collapsing around them, but all she saw was him. I never stopped loving you, she said, her voice cracking. Lucas turned away. Someone sobbed. I tried, she continued, breath shaking. I tried so hard to forget, to move on. But every part of this wedding felt like pretending. Except right now. Dylan swallowed hard. He didn't move. He didn't breathe. Until she reached up, pulled off her veil, and dropped it to the ground. Then chaos. Her parents shouted. The media rushed forward. Lucas stormed out of the chapel. And Dylan took her hand, just like he used to. They ran. Not out of fear, but out of instinct. Through the side doors, down the garden paths, into the car Dylan had left idling outside. Cameras chased them. Reporters screamed questions. The world had officially caught fire. But inside that car, it was quiet.
Safe.
She leaned against his shoulder, crying and laughing at the same time. I can't believe I just did that, she whispered. I can, he said. And he kissed her.
Soft. Certain.
Like no time had passed at all. The aftermath wasn't easy. Shen Yue's family disowned her, briefly. Lucas's team launched a PR campaign painting Dylan as an emotional manipulator. Her agency threatened to suspend her projects. His endorsements took a hit. But the world, surprisingly, shifted in their favor. Because the public saw something real, something raw, and they loved it. Soon, interviews rolled in. They didn't hide anymore. They didn't need to. They told their story. Honestly, imperfectly, and without shame. And fans? They rallied behind them. What began as a scandal turned into a phenomenon. They starred in a new drama together. A love story loosely inspired by their real one. It broke streaming records. Film festivals called it brave, intimate, and unforgettable. And through it all, they held on to each other. Not tightly,
but gently.
Because this time, they didn't have to be afraid of letting go. Years later, in a small garden tucked behind a modest villa in Jeju, Dylan knelt beside Shen Yue. No photographers. No guests.
Just them.
Marry me, he whispered. No gowns, she smiled. No chaos. Just us. She nodded. And this time, she said yes.